I wrote this story about William Shatner. I played for the weirdest band. It was called Neil Norman's Cosmic Orchestra. It was put together by
Nice.
Paramount Pictures. And we played all this really eclectic Space 1999, all the theme songs, and then we would back up the actors. So all the actors play guitar, saxophone, sing, dance, something. We'd back them up, play for them. And then Tim Russ, who played Tuvok on Voyager, Star Trek
I am
Voyager.
Tuvok.
I am Tuvok. Dude, that dude's a killer singer and a great guitar player. And we were his band, and we'd put on this show. And at Star Trek conventions. It was really cool.
Oh
Really
my
cool. So
God!
anyway,
All the Trekkies. It was like the cast of Big Bang Theory.
dude, it was totally.
This is the Rich Redmond Show.
What's up, folks? Rich Redmond here. Yes, you're in the right place. You're in the right space. We're somewhere in the Matrix, but usually I have my co-host, co-producer, longtime friend Jim McCarthy joining me as well. But today's a solo show, one-on-one, with my good pal, Bart Robley, joining us from Southern California. What's going on, man?
You know what, man? I knew I was coming on your show, so I'm sitting over here doing my Radame cues. It's like, I'm going to talk to Rich Redmond. I got to be able to play the drums.
Zhlaka-da-blop, zhlaka-da-blop.
Yeah. Over here talking to Rich Redmond. Dude, I'm so stoked to be on your show. Thank you so much. This is
No,
awesome.
this is a great thing. We've been aware of each other for decades, but finally, one of the great reasons to join the Percussive Art Society is all the greatest drummers, percussionists, educators, pros, hobbyists that love drums and percussion. We go to Indianapolis, Indiana once a year, and we converge. And so we're up at the Sabian party, and you and I finally got to talk in the flesh about a year ago, almost.
Yeah, almost a year ago, and I got to give a shout out to our mutual friend JJ Garcia.
What's up, JJ?
Dude, everybody loves JJ. I think JJ is the glue that holds the musical universe together.
Yes.
That dude knows everybody, you know.
He really does. He's the ultimate connector, and he's the ultimate sweetheart. And, every couple of weeks I get a hits magazine in my mailbox, and it always makes me think about JJ Garcia. What's up, JJ? Yeah.
I called him the other day. I was like, dude, I need the Pope's number. He's like, no problem. I'll text it over to you. He knows everybody. He really does.
he really does. So we got to kind of kibitz a little bit, way high up overlooking, Indianapolis. We were just kind of catching up, and then you had me on your show. But, if people have had their head in the sand, they don't know who you are. I don't know, understand. Hailing from Littleton, Colorado, been calling Southern California home since 1989. That's about 36 years. Living in the Inland Empire there, sunny and 70. You don't need a weather girl, but we like weather girls because usually they're very attractive in Southern California. But you know what? You know how to keep a gig, my friend. You've been a member, the drummer, in the Sam Morrison Band for 25 years. I mean, you guys do clubs, casinos, fairs, festivals, always working. You do covers, you do tributes, you do original stuff. So we'll get into that, how you got the gig, how you kept the gig. And, you're a full-time educator. You're always teaching one-on-one lessons. You do clinics. We have Sabian symbols in common. But also, you're a several-time author, but this is your latest offering, Drum Up Your Business, a practical blueprint to thriving in the music business. It's step by step, and you can see there's an acronym there. People love these acronyms: determination, relationships, understanding, and mentorship. So I don't know where to start, man, but we could start right there if you want. This is your latest offering.
I say we start on page 8 because look at this handsome dude right there. Look at that guy.
Oh, thanks for having me in there, man.
You know what? Thank you so much. Yeah, when you and I were talking in Indianapolis at Andy Zildjian's party, man, I told you that I was writing this book and what it was about. And when I said to you, yeah, it's an acronym and determination, and you just simply said, hey, yeah, when determination takes over when everything else fails. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Can I use it in the book? And you said, yeah. And so, yeah, that's how that whole thing started. Yeah.
Well, what an honor, man. I mean, now you have other books as well. Take us back. I mean, I think that you've got School of Hard Rocks, and you've got the Rock and Pop and Snare Drum.
Yep. So it all started this way. I've always been, like a lot of our drummer friends, I have an opinion and I want to get it out there. And I want to get it out there to help my fellow drummers and my fellow musicians, right? I want people to learn from what I've learned. I want people to learn from my mistakes. They say that, success is found at the bottom of a pile of mistakes, right?
Sure.
And Lord knows I've made them. So I used to write for a magazine way back in the day. It's like this little, it's like a newspaper you'd see inside a club when you walked in.
A rag, they call it.
Yeah,
a
rag. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was called Music Scene International, and I did a double bass column, and it was archaic. I found a recent version. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is horrible.
You had a big mane of hair at the time as well, right?
Tons of hair, tons of. Well, I didn't have the mane. Well, I did tease it out, but I had hair down past my butt. I had hair.
Nice.
And but I did that whole thing, and it just kind of slowly progressed. And I started writing for Classic Drummer magazine. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote for Classic Drummer. And I would do little articles. Here's how you play this. Here's how you play this. Here's a soca groove. Here's a double bass thing, whatever. And so I put together, School of Hard Rocks. That's the first one. This one right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you just self-publish, right, on Amazon or?
No, this one is on Center Stream Publishing, and it's distributed by Hal Leonard. Look,
you got to have Hal in the mix. Same with my book. Yeah.
Look at that. And then same thing with Rock and Pop and Snare Drum. This one right here.
So it's kind of like a snare drum method book, but something tells me, knowing you, it's kind of like fun and it's rocking.
Totally. It's and you know what? Here's my thing. When I wrote my instructional books, I didn't try to reinvent the wheel. I mean, if it hasn't been done with stick control or syncopation, right? So I just wanted to get my opinion out there. Again, I just wanted to be one of the voices that people could turn to in the drumming industry and in the music industry to go, here's how you do this.
Yes.
Right? And so that's why I wrote the books and how I wrote the books, and just trying to help drummers out.
If you're listening to this podcast, it means you're already looking to improve your drumming. Why not level it up in person with me when you book a one-on-one day drum intensive? Drummers from around the world have traveled to Nashville to study with me. We cover subjects like reading, rudiments, technique, hand development, charting, the Nashville number system, styles, percussion, music biz insider info, career development, positive mindset, and much more. Of course, we address all your questions, and my deep curriculum has helped players of all kinds move the ball down the field to be closer to their goals, even getting accepted to college music programs, moving to that dream music town, getting gigs, and keeping them. Find out more about my one-on-one day drumtensive. Go to drumtensive.com, drumtensive.com, drumtensive.com.
Have a podcast that needs a facelift? Or maybe you're just starting out and want to hit the ground running. At it'syourshow.co, we help you produce, rebrand, and elevate your podcast. Led by industry vet Jim McCarthy, a 25-plus year voiceover, music, and talk radio production pro. Jim's got the ear, the experience, and the gear to take your show from average to unforgettable. Podcasts are one of the most powerful tools to grow your brand, connect authentically, and build trust with your audience. But sounding like a pro? That's what sets you apart. Visit it'syourshow.co today, and let's make your podcast sound like it should.
I like the fact that you call it a blueprint. You address determination, you address relationships, you address understanding, mentorship, fun photos of all the adventures you've had in your life, practical stories, how people can learn things through your eyes, And, you've got a lot of experience. You're committed to education and self-improvement. You've studied with Greg Bissonette, Ralph Humphrey, God rest his soul, Dave Lombardo,
Right.
Rob Heskett. I don't know him. You could tell me about him. Dom Famularo, God rest his soul, Robert Slack. What did you get from each of these guys, and why did you seek each one of these guys out?
Well, Robert, let's start with Rob Heskett. He owned a music store in downtown Littleton called Crescendo Music.
Oh, this is when you're a little guy.
I was a little dude, and he was, I wanted to be in the school band. And, so my mom went in and she goes, okay, my son wants to play drums, and he sells her a practice pad and a pair of sticks. And I was like, no, man, I want the big drum set, I just saw Ronnie Tutt from Elvis playing this big blue thing. That's what I want. I don't want this practice pad.
This Gladstone pad. I bet you had a Gladstone pad.
I had a Gladstone pad, and then I had, it was like 2 squares of wood, they kind of sat on each other, and had one of those. And so Rob was the first guy, and I had to play traditional grip and 5-stroke rolls and paradiddles and single-stroke rolls and go through the rudiments. And it was about a year or more.
Yeah.
And he finally goes, Mrs. Robley, I think Bart's finally ready for a snare drum. And so I moved up to the snare drum and all the way up. And so he was the first guy that kind of taught me drums. And he's still around. He teaches in Colorado. He plays in a bunch of bands, plays in a church band, plays in a John Denver tribute band. They tour.
So he's got to be in his like mid 60s or 70.
Oh, he's in his 70s, and he's still really viable. Matter of fact, we played Denver. Well, it was a couple years ago now when we played in Denver, and we weren't quite sure logistically how it was going to happen. And he was going to backline me because I'm a Gretsch guy, and he had some Gretsch kits. And he goes, I got a Gretsch kit, I'll let you borrow. And we ended up taking our gear out there. We ended up having a string of shows. So we took our stuff. But no, he's still out there, still viable. He teaches. He has a studio at his house called Takab Drum Studios. Mm-hmm. And just
he's got to be proud of you, right? I mean, it's like, isn't it cool that you were like the little tyke in the room, and then now you're colleagues?
Right. And you know what was really cool? When I got my endorsement deal with Gretsch, the first year I was at the Gretsch booth, and at the time the A&R rep was Kim Graham. And I was standing there talking to her, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a catalog. You get your little picture in the back of the catalog, Bart Robley, Sam Morrison Band. Yes. And I was just like, everybody would walk by and be, there I am, look at me. I was totally geeked out. I made it, totally geeked out about it. And Rob was there, and also this guy by the name of Gary Curry. And Gary used to own a place in Denver called Percussion Specialties. Well, he was the manager. He didn't own it. He was the manager there. And he, at the time, worked for HSS Distribution, right? Yep. Sonar drums, Sabian cymbals, all this stuff.
Honer,
and Honer, yeah. And so we're all kind of standing around, and at that point it hit me. I'm like, wait a second, these guys who used to be my teachers, and I was the dude that would stand there and stare at the drum sets, going, I want that one.
So sexy.
Like we all were, Yeah, look at that one, And then now I'm standing there with them, and like you said, they're my colleagues and they're my friends, and it was a good feeling.
Isn't that cool? And because I tell all my students, I say, look at, if you stay in the business long enough and you do the right thing, you follow through, you're a person of integrity, character, you practice, all of your heroes become, your friends. And in the middle of the night, Carmine Appice is like sending you a weird meme, and you could, you could text these people. I mean, it's a cool thing. And sometimes it just takes a very, very long time. Still have yet to meet Alex Van Halen, still have yet to meet, Stuart Copeland. But the fact that, I can high five Carmine, I can high five Kenny, I can hug, especially Greg. You know about Greg Bissonette. Like, dude, when he sees you at a trade show, he will hug you, and he will not let go of that embrace. He might hug you for 10 minutes walking around the showroom.
Dude, Greg is the shining example of not just what to be as a drummer, but what to be as a person.
As a human frickin' being.
Do you know Chris Brady?
Yeah.
You're a Remo guy, right?
Yeah, I've been with Remo since 1994.
Okay. So that's about when I got on with Aquarian. Matter of fact, Chris and I joke about it. I got a picture of us around here somewhere. I got to find it.
Roy Burns. I got a good Roy Burns story, man.
Roy. Dude, this wasn't planned. I have this. Look, this is me and Chris Brady.
Yeah.
8 billion years ago.
You guys are wearing your mom jeans.
We are wearing mom jeans, man. Look at that. Look at who is that ugly girl standing beside Chris? Anyway, I've been with Aquarian longer than Chris was, but no, Chris is a dear friend of mine, and Chris does. A lot of people don't know this, but Chris is an incredible drummer, and he's really good at transcribing stuff.
Nice.
And so he does a lot of transcriptions for Greg, and him and Greg are like really tight. And that's what Chris says. He's like, man, Greg is not just a great drummer; he's a great person.
Yes.
And he's just that dude. He makes you feel welcome and.
Well, the ultimate formula for a great clinic is to entertain, to teach, and make them laugh. So like any great clinician, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna learn, and you're gonna be entertained. And you're definitely gonna get that at a Greg Bissonette clinic. You'll definitely get that at a Stanton Moore clinic, a Carmine clinic, a Kenny clinic. So that's it. And I mean, especially Greg, he's got the Catskills jokes, and he'll pick up the trumpet, and you know what I mean? He's just always telling stories like two old guys in the park, you know?
You got to ask Brady. I'll tell it now if you want, but you got to ask Brady about the black page story at a Greg Bissonette clinic.
Oh yeah. It's like I played that for my senior recital. It's like a coffee can that was spilled all over a piece of paper.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Well, Greg is giving a clinic, and he sees Chris in the back of the room, and Chris can play the black page, right?
Yeah.
And Chris is standing there watching the clinic, and Greg goes, "Hey everybody, it's Chris Brady from Aquarian Drumheads, and you should hear this guy play the black page. Come on up, Chris." And Chris is like, he goes, "I started getting tunnel vision." He goes, "I'm going to pass out now."
It's that scene in Poltergeist where the mom's trying to get down the hallway, and the hallway just keeps getting longer and longer.
Right.
My God. Amazing. And then, we have to say something about, I didn't know Ralph Humphrey very well. I mean, of course, odd time specialist, played with Zappa.
Yep.
Taught at MI forever, and then was kind of like a founding member of the Los Angeles Music Academy. Yep. Or was it the Los Angeles College of Music, LACMA, I believe. And now it's
LAMA.
Now it's LAMA, and now it's Los Angeles College of Music, LACM.
Yeah, LACM.
Sounds like a rudiment. Slack'em.
Slack'em, rack'em.
So I didn't know him very well, but Dom and I were dear friends who would always at any trade show, we would end up at some sort of a dinner, and I would always sit next to him, and we'd have our red wine and stain our teeth and tell stories, and I would just soak up his juju, you know?
Yeah. Dom was awesome. Well, Ralph Humphrey, hands down, was the best drum teacher I ever had. And here's why. I think the sign of a good drum teacher is when they know what you need to work on before you know what you need to work on, And I went to him to work on Moeller. I had been watching JoJo Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
And there was the 2005 Modern Drummer Festival Days. He's on that video. It's way back. And he's doing his JoJo Mayer thing, and his hands are just like water. I'm like, I got to learn that. I got to really work on that. So I went to Ralph, and I told him that's what I wanted to work on. And 10 minutes into the lesson, he goes, "I'll be right back." And we were at his house. He had a little, like a pool house, and on the back of the pool house, he had converted this room into a drum room. And he comes out with these exercises, and he goes, "Here, let's work on these." And it was Moeller, but it wasn't Moeller. It was kind of it was a lot more than that. And it was a thing of 4 exercises, and I teach it to my students today, and I still practice it today. I've made clinics out of it. Yeah. And he knew this stuff before I did. And he really helped me with my groove and my feel, and my time, of course. And he was just a real sweetheart of a guy. And when before we got on the podcast, we're talking about the record deal that I got where we recorded with Michael Blum. He really helped me through that. And he was just a great dude. And he would sit down and play, and he would play the simplest of things. And I'm sure you've run into this, where you just see somebody that sits down 1 and 3, 2 and 4. And you're like, how do you make it sound that good? How do you pull that sound out of the end? It's so simple, but I can't do that.
And he did a lot of TV shows. Like he was on Dancing with the Stars and the house band before they went to like pre-recorded tracks and stuff.
Yeah. He told stories of that too. He said he had stories about that band and how good they were. He's the guy. I'm 99% sure I'm right about this. So if you Google it and I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. At the on Star Trek, the theme song, that log drum, that's Ralph.
Nice.
Yeah.
How cool to be like, or say you're like Hal Blaine, and you were there, or you're like Three's Company, same Phil. Same Phil, different jingle. But to be a part of the fabric of like American culture like that, and Emil Richards, probably owned the log drum that Ralph played on the television show, and he was so smart because he was always the leader and or contractor of the percussion section, and then he made money from renting his instruments out,
renting his gear out, and he did the cartage for it. And you know what's crazy is, and it was just kind of weird how it happened where I ended up studying with Ralph. I played for the weirdest band in the world. And matter of fact, I'm a writer as well. Obviously, not just my books, but I blog a lot. And
where's your blogs?
Medium.
Oh, you blog on Medium? Okay.
Yeah, and I wrote this story about William Shatner. I played for the weirdest band. It was called Neil Norman's Cosmic Orchestra. It was put together by Paramount Pictures. And we played all this really eclectic Space 1999, all the theme songs. And then we would back up the actors. So all the actors play guitar, saxophone, sing, dance, something. We'd back them up, play for them. And then Tim Russ, who played Tuvok on Voyager, Star Trek Voyager. I am Tuvok. Dude, that dude's a killer singer and a great guitar player. And we were his band, and we'd put on this show. And at Star Trek conventions. It was really cool.
Oh my God, so anyway, all the Trekkies. It was like the cast of Big Bang Theory.
Dude, it was totally. And the first gig that I did with them, we were in Denver, and it was bitching because it was put together by Paramount. So there's big screens and all this Star Trek stuff's coming down. I want to watch it, and I can't because I'm playing to click and,
reading charts.
Totally, dude. You know the gig. Yeah. So I'm doing the gig. And the first part of the show is all this, like I say, real eclectic, weird theme song music. And we're just kind of background music. Well, then the show starts, and all the people come in, lights go out. And you know how it is. The lights are in your eyes, and you can only see like the first 2 rows of people.
Yeah.
And I'm playing, and I'm like, that dude has the biggest head I've ever seen. Because all I can see is a silhouette. It's just, I'm like, what is up? He
had the mask on, right?
He had on a Star Trek thing. And I'm like, and they all dress up. It was so cool. Yeah. And the thing that I learned from that was it doesn't matter what you're into in life, right? Like if you're into collecting thimbles, there's going to be a convention of thimble collectors that gather together to talk about thimbles. And that's the way the Star Trek thing was. And it was a lot of fun. And anyway, back to the Ralph Humphrey thing. Yeah. It was just cool that I did that, and I got to meet Ralph and work with him. And we talked about the log drum and talked about all that stuff. And Neil actually had asked Ralph to do the gig, and he was like, nah, he didn't want to do it. Neil Norman, that was the guy, Neil Norman's Cosmic Orchestra.
Yeah. Well, see, that's great. So you can sometimes you study with people, And, you get on their radar, and then before you know it, you're on their sub list, which is always a great thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
And then what'd you get from Dom? Was Dom's thing more mental, like how to construct clinics and how to approach your career and stuff? Because you really are, I mean, the book is definitely worth picking up, folks, right there. It's an easy to remember an acronym, but it's like, this is definitely not rocket science, but some of the stuff, none of my books are rocket science either. It's just a friendly reminder of the things that maybe not, you're not really thinking about. Of course, you have to be an expert at your craft. Of course, you have to be good at your instrument, but it's all these other things like the admin, running your career, staying in the public eye, creating relevant content, joining professional organizations, going to the conventions, being seen, all very important stuff.
All very important. And that is what I got from Dom. I took a couple of lessons. Dom and I did a master class together one time when COVID hit. And I had taken a few, playing things with him, but it was definitely more, like you say, the mental game, how to get things going. And the reason I say we did the master class together and throw that in there was because that was probably the biggest lesson I took with him, like on hand technique, as I was giving the lesson, right? And, but Dom was, again, such a positive ball of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And he really kind of helped you wrap your brain around the fact that, hey, man, you can do this. And I remember when I first threw my hat into the ring, okay, I'm going to do clinics. My thinking on it was totally backwards. I was thinking, oh, my God, I'm going to do a drum clinic in a room full of drummers. What the hell? I'm going to be bleeding out in a shark tank. But it wasn't that way. And he helped me get my brain around that. He's like, no, nobody wants to see you fail. Everybody wants to see you succeed. And for some reason, I said this on a podcast the other day. I don't know why it was this way, but for some reason, I had this thing in my head that Dave Weckl is going to show up at my clinic, right? I don't know why, but I'm like, what if Dave Weckl shows up at my clinic, Dom? I don't know what to do. He goes, well, what are you going to do? You're going to outdrum Weckl? Nobody can do that. Come on. You just got to stay in your lane. He really helped me get my brain around
Stay in your lane, stay on target, and then have some wonderful takeaways. The way I'm sure you agree, the way I approach the drum clinic or the master class is it is a special event that brings the community of like-minded people together. I'm not a genius, but I've been fortunate enough to experience all these great things in life and give me a perspective. And I'm going to share those things, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to learn, and we're going to love, and we're going to be entertained. And it's almost more of it's like a one-man show. It's like a small one-man show. If you're an actor and you're in a black box theater and people come out and it's like, what is this? Oh my God, this person just played 15 characters and told me their life story. So it's like that.
Yeah, it totally is. That's a great analogy, and that's a great way to kind of describe it. It really is. And I think the clinic thing and the masterclass thing is you're taking what you do and say, now here's what I do, take what you do and pull from it, just like any drum lesson would be. I mean, a one-on-one coaching thing or drum lesson is going to be more, hey, pull your hand up this way, turn your hand over, finger technique, do this. This is more of, like you say, a one-man show. This is what I've been able to do. This is what I've been able to create, and you can do it too. Matter of fact, one of my clinics, I'm sure, like you, I have different areas that I touch on.
Yeah.
The master class that I did, Adam's place, at Adam's Drum Room.
Adam's Drum Room. What's up, Adam?
Adam, we love you. He's over, matter of fact, he's in Europe with Europe.
Oh, wow. Dun, dun, dun.
The final count. Yeah, he's their manager. Anyway.
You're kidding me.
No, he manages Europe, Thin Lizzy, Lita Ford.
Oh, yeah. So that's his niche, is the 80s bands, keeping them working. Like, hey guys, I got you a birthday party. Jeff Bezos' kid, they're having a birthday party, but
the clown goes on before you guys.
Are you cool following the puppet show? But no, I mean, that's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that means he brushes shoulders with our friend Bobby Rock, who I love. Bobby Rock, dude. I want to have him on the show, man.
dude, Bobby Rock. Okay, so yeah, I got invited to Adam's birthday party a few months back, and yeah, everybody was there. Lita Ford and Wendy Dio. It was great, man. It was a fantastic time. Well, Bobby Rock was he was kind of the guy that I look to not only is he a killer drummer, but he's a great writer. He's a columnist. He's written many books on a lot of different subjects.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a great dude, man.
What I got from him was hey, pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth.
Yep.
And maybe also get some exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Lift some weights. But yeah, so Adam, the clinic that I did at Adam's thing was it was a molar thing, right? It was a master class on molar. Well, I've put a whole clinic together around the Bob Seger recordings, all the re-records that we did. That's a whole nother story with the Sam Morrison Band.
Come back to that. That's what we're talking about next. That's what we're talking about.
Okay. How we did those recordings, because, man, and I'll throw this out there as the hook, and then I'll tell how I did it. Every one of those records that we did, and we've had, matter of fact, I asked Sam to text me the numbers, like in the millions of streams. Over 40 million streams on the Bob Seger stuff.
All right, dude. That means that 40 million people have heard your drumming, Bart.
Right.
Think about that. That's pretty cool.
I know. It's really cool.
Who are these people? What countries are they in? Do they speak the language?
Right. It's
cool.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's totally cool. And when we did those recordings, they were, well, from the second album through all these other recordings that I did with him, and I got those because I did my job well, to anybody listening who's a young drummer. They were cut to click recordings or cut to click sessions, meaning, of course, you're going to cut to click, but it was me, my transcriptions, a drum set, and that's it. No musicians.
You were going for the feel and a tight track that they could build everything around.
100%. Matter of fact, I cut. One of my favorite recordings was a song that wasn't even a big hit for Seger. We re-recorded a song called Ain't Got No Money. And then we did another song called Back in 72. Those are my two favorite recordings that we did of his. And I recorded those on Christmas Eve. It was me and Michael, and we're sitting up in Sherman Oaks just cutting tracks, man. Nobody else in the studio, it's just the two of us. Yeah.
Was your bride upset that you were working on Christmas Eve?
A little bit.
But it was the only day that the studio was available, or it was a crunch?
Yeah, that was the thing. It was one of those things where he wanted to get it done, and he goes, "Hey, can you come in?" I said, "Yes, I can." So I was there.
You always say yes.
Always say yes, no matter
what.
Say
always say yes, unless it's someone's life's on the line or something.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sounds like your life was on the line, but you guys got past it. You're still married.
Yeah, we're still here.
That's good. So you're an author, you're an educator, you're teaching all the time. These are great stories. But tell us about the Sam Morrison Band. 25 years, that's a long run. That's hallowed ground. Same members. How did the relationship start? How'd you get the gig?
Okay. Well, I was, at the time, I worked at this place called Orange County Speaker. It was before I could make a living as a musician. And I was working there during the day. I was playing gigs at night, and I was teaching. So if I didn't have a gig or rehearsal, then I was giving lessons. It always, and writing, doing my thing. And Sam came in to get some speakers repaired. We did like big PA systems that had just gotten off tour. We rebuilt them, And so anyway, Sam brought some speakers in, and we'd fixed some speakers for him. And we made fast friends. And he was at the time, it was always a Sam Morrison Band, which it still is. And they were doing country. They were doing the 90s era country. A lot of Travis Tritt, Garth Brooks, Clint Black,
Tracy
all that
Lawrence,
stuff. Tracy Lawrence.
Clint Black just came to our show the other night in Canada. It was awesome to see him, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You know Jack Gavin?
Yes, I haven't seen him in a very, very long time, but he was one of the longest running drummers for Charlie Daniels.
Yeah, and that's Sam's due north, right? Is Charlie Daniels Band. That's Sam's thing.
Okay.
And so anyway, he he asked me to sub for him on a couple of gigs. His drummer couldn't make it, so I went in and subbed for him. And I was, at the time, I had been playing hard rock and stuff forever. So it was a big, square peg round hole, a big learning curve, and I just went to work. Fast forward about a year of that relationship going on. He calls me up and he goes, "Hey man, my drummer quit and my guitar player quit. And I've got a 2-week tour of Europe coming up, and the gig's yours if you wanted it." And I was like, "Let's go." So I had my passport, I had everything, and we went off to Europe and we played in war zones. We played during the Bosnia-Croatian War. We played in Bosnia, Croatia, Kosovo,
Sarajevo.
Macedonia, Sarajevo. Yeah, Sarajevo. That was the capital of Bosnia, and we played there. It was the capital of Bosnia, and it was
so risky. It was risky. So
Dude.
This would have been, because I hit those same countries and those same cities for the U.S. military, 1998.
Yeah, so it was a little bit after that. Because this was when we were 20 miles from Parliament the night that the military stormed it to get Milosevic out. And this is no joke, dude. We were playing, and you would be,
Oh my God.
it was nuts. And at one point when we were in Kosovo, it was really surreal. We were up on this hill, and it was dusk. And we were staying in the military barracks and everything. And there was all these black birds. They weren't crows or ravens. They were just these ominous looking black birds. Thousands of them. We're up on a hill. There's a city way down below, and you could hear them down there shooting. And and they were like, "Oh, it's all small arms fire. It won't make it up here."
Right.
Anyway, so we played there and did that whole thing and did the whole military tour over there. And then years later, like that, all those like those Toby Keith videos and stuff that he did for where he played for the military, dude, that's where we played. That was the same. It was the same place. It was Eagle Base in Bosnia, Camp Bondsteel in Kosovo, all those places.
Wow. Well, that's a good thing to do, because the soldiers really appreciate it. They're starved for a slice of Americana. They're over there, defending everything, and it's just
totally
crazy. Sorry, I'm somewhat distracted right now. I'm going to make that not look so, but this is real life stuff, like waiting for the plumber to come because your bathroom is smelling for some reason and you're trying to figure it out. And the Wi-Fi is giving us fits a little bit right now. It seems like it's slowing down.
Well, just bathrooms, is good. And just as a point of reference, bathrooms, they do stink from time to time, just so you know.
Yeah, this is like some sort of that's not human. What is that? Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of these things. So you're playing, subbing for someone, a last minute job leads to a 25-year relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing like wives and girlfriends have come and gone. People have had children. They're grown. They're out of the house. Is it the same? Has it been the same personnel?
No, what happened was, if for the last like 10 years, it's been the same. It's a real solid unit now.
Nice.
The bass player, and myself and Sam, I've been coming in September, it'll be 26 years. Bass player's like 22, 23.
Amazing.
So
you finish each other's sentences.
Oh, dude.
You're very comfortable personally and professionally.
Yep.
You know what you're getting into. But the thing that I also like about how you live your life is you approach things the same way that I do, which is like you're out on the road. There's a 24-hour day. You're not playing the entire time. You make good use of your time. You're writing your books. You're teaching lessons.
Yep.
You're hitting the gym because, idle time is the devil's playground.
Totally, man. Been there, done that, man. Don't want to do that. So I teach from the road. I write from the road. And well, like when we were doing the Bob Seger stuff, I transcribe all that stuff, so.
Takes time. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So, well, and then after we got back from Europe, when really a lot of personnel stuff changed, and we went into just doing like our originals and more Southern rock. We still did some like more of the outlaw country stuff, some of the Travis Tritt, the old Waylon stuff, stuff like that. Just great stuff. And then started doing a lot of Allman Brothers, a lot of Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're working out in Vegas, and we happened to have 4 or 5 Bob Seger tunes in the set. And it was one of those things where Sam, he doesn't try to sound like Seger, he just does. That's what his voice sounds like, right? When matter of fact, on the recordings, when we on the song "Roll Me Away," to me, still to this day, I listen to it, I'm like, oh my God, you sound
like Bob,
dude. You just nailed it. It's perfect. So anyway, we're working out in Vegas, and we were playing with this band called Yellow Brick Road. And they were not they just did everything. It wasn't an Elton John tribute. That was just the name of the band.
Interesting.
Yeah. And and they were great. One night they would do like a tribute to Rush, and they would nail it. And then the next night we were doing a tribute to the Beatles, and they'd nail it.
Dude, that's very smart, and it keep everybody sharp.
Totally. And so Sam goes, man, we get more requests for Seger. People say I sound like him. Why don't we try a tribute thing? Okay, why not? Let's see if it sticks to the wall. And we did, and man, it stuck.
So there's really like 2 bands.
It's 2 bands. And what we did to kind of keep the branding is that it's the Sam Morrison Band presents Turn the Page. So we get hired either to do our original stuff, we get hired to do the Southern rock stuff, and we get hired to do the Bob Seger stuff. And the smart thing about it is, like, we don't dress up, like we're not a Beatles band. We don't need to wear Sgt. Pepper's. We just go out there looking like a rock band, right? I mean, that's what we do. And so we'll get hired, we'll go out and play. And Sam makes this thing at the end of the show. He's like, I don't know if we don't look like other tribute bands you've seen, blah, 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 blah. We've had songs of our own in movies and TV shows, and tells the whole story. Well, as soon as he does that, we get hired back next time around to do both shows. Happens all the time. And we work a lot, and we're on the road a lot. And
that's amazing, and it's a really brilliant business plan. And does he have an agent, or does he handle everything himself?
We both. He handles stuff himself, and then we have one agency that we work with out of Arizona, that they handle everything in Arizona for us. I mean, we work in Arizona so much that I'm seriously thinking about buying a house there.
It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat, Bart.
Oh, dude, my sister lives there. Forget it. No way. I mean, that's what keeps me from buying a house there.
Well, that's what's really interesting is I do like the desert. I mean, obviously it's not enjoyable in July and August. You got to stay in.
Yeah.
But if you lived in Southern California for 36 years, is it even possible to think about leaving the palm trees and this blue skies?
There's times, you hear all these people, the California exodus, everybody's leaving California because of politics and this and that. Well, now you're starting to hear about how everybody's like coming back to California, because
is it really?
Yeah. People are starting to come back, and yeah, it would be tough to move away. I mean, it's definitely home, it's definitely.
It's just one of those beautiful energy points in the universe where I tell everybody, you go to a strip mall and you can get vegan health food. There's a smoothie shop. There's a boba tea thing. There's Indian. There's Mexican. There's Vietnamese food, all in the same strip mall. Trip around the world. You know what I mean? And it's just this melting pot of cultures, which really, lights my fire. I really enjoy that. So we're kind of like hitting a little bit of everything just to show that the complete dedication and versatility you have in your life. Tell us about the Drummer's Education Connection.
DEC. Yeah. So that was a COVID project. Thank you for being on it, by the way.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Drummer's Education Connection. I was out for a hike when COVID first started. I'm like, what are we going to do now? And I got a phone call from Chip Ritter.
Ritter. Now, you could sum him up as there's so many, obviously, this is not the only thing he does, but he was world famous for appearing on David Letterman, Stupid Human Tricks as the juggling drummer.
Yep. And I tell you, the thing is, and he'll tell you this too, like he doesn't teach juggling to his students. He's a kick-ass drummer. He is a great drummer. But matter of fact, we used to do this thing every year at NAMM time. Right down the street from the Anaheim Convention Center, there was this club. And we would have a NAMM jam. And we called it the Sam Jam, right? Sam Morrison Band.
Smart.
And everybody would come and play. We had everybody come and play. And Chip came down one night. I always invite all my drummer buddies, come play. And if we do it again, I'm going to call you. Come play.
Yeah.
And so Chip gets there, and dude, there's like rock stars getting up and playing, right? And they're, oh yeah, that's great. Chip gets up there and starts juggling. God, it brings the house down, man. He's just great, man.
He's so good.
Great. So anyway, Chip calls me, says he wants to do something. He doesn't know what he wants to do. And I go, okay, well, let's have a meeting. So we get on Zoom, much like you and I are now. And he goes, hey, you know Rick Stojak down in San Diego? I'm like, I know Rick. Yeah, everybody knows Rick. I love Rick. So we have a meeting, and he knew Jeremy up in the Bay Area. So we had like a weekly meeting for a month, kind of brainstorming of what we wanted to do, what we wanted to call it, how we wanted to do it. And then it got to a point where it's like, well, we can keep meeting on Zoom every week and talking about doing it, or we can just do it. So we started going live on Facebook, and then got StreamYard and go live to Facebook and YouTube. And we've had everybody on. We've had Billy Cobham, we've had David Garibaldi, we've had Bissonette, we've had you, and we've had people that own a company that, you know, make drumstick tips, you know, I mean, just everything. And we just kind of geek out on drums. It's fun.
Yeah. Who doesn't love
Tuesday?
Who doesn't love that? And then you turn it into a audio podcast as well on Apple Podcasts.
Yep, we do an Apple podcast, and it's pretty much everywhere. We do it. We turn it into an audio podcast, and then I just started doing your video. I take and do shorts of it, and put shorts all over YouTube and Facebook and social media.
Yeah.
And, you know, just do the normal drummer thing. Hey, look at me. You know?
Well, it's a great thing. I mean, so, dude, you're checking all the boxes, man. You're a touring drummer. You're a recording drummer. You're an educator. You're an author. You're a podcaster now. You know, you're in original band. You're in tribute bands. You're doing all of the stuff to keep the lights on. What's your favorite drink?
My favorite drink is coconut flavored water. I quit drinking
Coconut water.
7 years ago. Yeah. LaCroix coconut water. I love it.
LaCroix. I love that. Coconut's
LaCroix.
my favorite. That's a good one. That's really good because it makes you feel like you're on a tropical vacation. You know?
Totally, dude. Coconut pie, coconut anything.
Dude, me too. Coconut milk, coconut cream pie, real coconut. You know, you chill it in the refrigerator. It's like you're in that Tom Hanks movie. It's crazy.
Exactly. No, I actually quit drinking. It's kind of, you know, if you would have asked me what I drank 6 years ago, I'd have said I just take the top off a bottle of Jack Daniels. But no.
Oh yeah, it's like Tommy and Nikki. They would just pass a bottle of Jack back and forth to each other. But they were 19 years old.
Right. No, I quit drinking coming up on 7 years ago now.
All right, bro.
And it was that was a journey, and I even wrote a book about that.
Yeah.
That's a whole other subject. Yeah.
So that's another whole published book.
That is a published book, and that one is self-published.
Nice,
and
man.
That one is on Amazon, and that one is called "Don't Hit the Reset Button."
Don't hit the effing
reset button. Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting story there. Well, maybe I'll check that out. Everyone check that out. And then if you had to choose a pizza, what is it? What is it?
Okay, you know what? Everybody asks that question. That's a drummer podcast question, I think.
I don't want to be normal.
Right. No. It really is. We have to know about this. So there's a place in Chicago, and you probably know the name of it. what is it? Illuminati's. Okay. Everybody in the band, we're playing in Chicago. Everybody in the band was like, oh, we got to go to Illuminati's. We got to go. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Dude, that's damn good pizza. I love to cook. If I have a hobby, my hobby is cooking. I love to cook. So when we're on the road, I'm like, we stay in an Airbnb. I go get food. I cook. I love to do it.
You're an asset to the organization.
Dude, I love cooking. Love doing it, right? And but these guys are they want to go here, they want to go there, okay, cool, whatever. They're talking about this pizza place, and everybody loves pizza, but Illuminati's in Chicago kicks ass. And when Todd Zuckerman was on the Deck Show, you can go watch it. The question we always ask at the end, what's the best pizza? He said Illuminati's. And watch Dom Fimulero's episode too, because he gets crazy about the pizza.
I really do. So would you ever go as far as putting pineapple on a pizza or not?
No, see, that's the thing. I think there's a religion about that. Like either you have pineapple or you don't. And like it's kind like people go to, it's kind of, okay. Remember when you were a kid, there was two camps. Either Kiss ruled the world or Kiss sucked, and you'd go to blows over it. Okay, I think it's the same thing with pineapple on pizza. It's like, they people fight over that.
Because you get the acidity, and it's like a combination thing. Like, I'm not opposed to it, but as a general rule, just give me a beautiful slice of New York, New Jersey cheese pizza.
There you go. And see, that's another thing, right? New York pizza versus Chicago pizza, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I like to fold it. I want to fold it on the streets of Manhattan, drip the grease off there a little bit,
See, I kind of like that too. That's the one thing I don't like about the thick Chicago stuff. It's like you got to have a fork and
you can only have one piece because it is a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Woo!
But it's good. But you know Fred Fisher? You ever met him?
Not yet, no.
Okay, Fred is a guy, he's a drummer, great dude in Boise, Idaho. He's been on Deck a few times as a guest host. And this is a little weird, but I got to try it. He said there's a pizza in Idaho that's covered in pickles.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah, put it on the lower part of the to-do list.
I got to know though. Okay, here's one for you. I'm a peanut butter freak, and somebody was telling me about a pizza that they put peanut butter on it, then red sauce, and then made the pizza. And I'm like, but I tried it, and it like I had one piece.
Yeah.
And it was...
I'll put it on the lower part of the to-do list. Now, listen, if you had to pick a favorite dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
What would it be? Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Diplodocus, T-Rex.
The Bartosaurus Rex, dude. Come on.
The Bartosaurus Rex.
Yeah, man. He holds his drumsticks like this. Yeah, the Bartosaurus Rex. Man.
T-Rexes are just very mad at all times because they have such little arms. They can't scratch an itch.
They're pretty pissed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're pretty pissed.
They're pretty pissed.
Yeah, Bartosaurus Rex. I got to go.
The Bartosaurus Rex. I love that. Now the funny thing is this has been a great conversation. We do have some editing to do on it to make it cohesive because there's so many things going on here.
Your producer's gonna hate me.
I just appreciate you making the time in your busy schedule because you're always playing, you're always traveling, you're always teaching, you're always recording. Everyone can check out BartRobley.com. It's ROBLEY.com. Yes, and they want to check out all your books, the latest which is Drum Up Your Business, Determination, Relationships, Understanding, Mentorship, a practical blueprint to not surviving, but thriving in the music business. And best way for people to get this, is it on Amazon?
You can get it on Amazon. You can order it direct from my website. If you want the digital version, you can go to Hudson Music and you can type in Bart Robley. And both of those are on Hudson Music with our friend Rob Wallace and Joe Bergamini.
We love Rob. We love Joe. And Joe and Rob have my Crash Course for Success digital offering at Hudson as well. And it is selling like cardboard. So please go check it out, folks.
my you know what, dude? My book shipped cardboard.
Oh.
You know what I think? You and I see, you know what I can see in the near future? I see between Crash Course and Drum Up Your Business, I see a Bart Robley, Rich Redmond masterclass business
sponsored by Sabian.
Sponsored by Sabian and Adam Parsons Drum Room.
And Deck Drummers
in
Education
debt.
Connection.
Drummers Education Connection. And all of the above.
Bart, congratulations on the success in the music business. Having a goal, having a dream, realizing your dreams, having enough patience and persistence to see it through. And thanks for taking all of your wisdom and things you've learned along the way and putting it in easily digestible formats for the future generation. And I appreciate your time, man.
Dude, I appreciate you. And seriously, anybody in the drumming world, if you're not aware of Rich, well, then you live under a rock. Rich is what I say about, I said this in my live video a minute ago. I always say that Rick Stojak is a positive energy hand grenade. He's great to be around. And if he's a positive energy hand grenade, then Rich Redmond is a positive energy nuclear bomb. I love being around this guy.
Watch the fallout.
Right. When he calls and my phone rings, I pick it up no matter what. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Indiana at PASIC. We're going to have a great time.
50th anniversary, folks. 50th anniversary.
No way, really?
It's the 50th year, so if it's a perfect year to join the Percussive Arts Society if you haven't joined.
Yep. And we are going to find a practice pad, and I'm going to teach you, Rich Redmond, how to play a flamma-barda-diddle-diddle.
Flamma-barda-diddle, 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 flamma-barda-diddle. You can put it in odd times.
You can put it in odd times. But if you do the flamma-barda-diddle-diddle, it'll stay in 4/4.
Oh, yeah, it cycles over the bar line.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Dude, I appreciate you. I value your friendship. And everyone check out BartRobley.com and buy his brand new book, Drum Up Your Business. Awesome, man.
You are the best. Thanks, brother.
I appreciate it. This will come out in about 4 Fridays from now, and I'll let you know.
4 Fridays from now. I love that. This is perfect.
Isn't that amazing? Thanks for your time, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
Okay, but I'll talk to you soon.
And yeah, you bet. And to all the listeners out there, please give yourself a hand. We appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review. It helps people find the show. Leave us a nice, 5-star rating and a sweet review. We appreciate it. And Bart, we have merch now, man. This is really exciting. If you go to richredmondshow.com, you enter the code FALL25 for 25% off hats and koozies and baseball jerseys and hoodies and beanies and the iconic coffee mug.
Oh, dude, I need a Rich Redmond coffee mug.
I need to send you one. Yeah.
You said something about what's my favorite drink. Other than coconut dude, I love Starbucks. I don't know what the hell they do to their coffee.
They burn it, and we love it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we love it. It's part of my, you know what? It's great for travelers because you and I, everything changes every day, but the one thing that is consistent is the bucks.
Yes, baby. Yeah,
I love it.
Buddy. Yeah.
Thanks again, man. Have a great day. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you.
This has been The Rich Redmond Show. Subscribe, rate, and follow along at richredmond.com/podcasts.